Are you doing like a wet dry thing?
No. Everything is front end before the amps. It's just his rack is a massive effects pedal. That he's completely dialed in. So,
wow.
and there's no, we got wet going over here in the center, and he's doing some splash.
Okay, so start to finish, you got the
two Voxes.
Two Voxes.
Fender, his new Edge Fender Deluxe amp, right?
Okay.
And then is one of these, it's a 58 in there, and we call that Fender 2. He's barely got any volume coming out of that. Little and quite a bit of tone, so that would never be on its own in a show. He'd never but that's in the combination of two and three sounds, like Be Beautiful Day, da 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 da, all that. He'll have that Fender 2 come. We call that Fender 2, and then the last is the Harvard. That is like this mid-range. You want to go, if you plug into it, you go, but he's gone beyond that. He's thought of, I'm going to use that with a big Vox 2. I want a little umph, a little punch, but I don't want to lose the clarity or the jangle. Sure. He's amazing. John. He really is.
Well, that is a perfect segue into the effects, which this is going to get deep. So, okay, before we get into this massive pedal board, tell us about the pick, which is a lot of where his tone comes from.
Can't discuss that with you. All right, man. So I don't know when it started. When I joined him, he was using this blue nylon pick, right? That had a grit on it, and it was made in Germany, called Herzim. I'm like, okay. And he said, man, this is what I use. I'm like, okay. And it was only after months that I would hand him a pick and I would watch him. So now the Herzim people have passed away in Germany. So I had to get another company. 3 companies to try to emulate that thickness and that grip. So what happens is most guitarists, as you know, that grit is there to hold the pick, right?
Yeah.
Right? He turns it sideways. He turns it sideways, and you can hear the grit. You hear the grit? And there's a lot of guys there's a lot of guitarists, ladies, men that know that, but that's why he and you watch him. He's
gripping the string.
Yeah, and he keeps the pick for like many shows, and you see him if Bono starts talking to the crowd, you see him even check the pick. God almighty, man, but it means he's gone that far with his sonicness. Even the plectrum, we call them plectrums in Europe, right? Is essential to his sound, and then like we talked about, one, is all. Yeah. It's all done with the thumb and fingers.
So
I know this isn't groundbreaking.
No, but actually the grit on the string, that is kind of amazing.
Right,
I would never think of that.
And when I joined him, I think this was the song that he showed. That you can hear it on.
Here, open up this one. I want people to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hear the grit?
Yeah.
You can, and you now if you hear those old great With or Without You, you'll hear how much a part of the plectrum. And what I want to say is, lastly, I've gone to many sites of Edge appreciators, right? Yeah. And they'll say this, and they'll have a signal path with how he'd play Streets with No Name, or Bad, or whatever, Still Haven't Found, and they'll have like 2 or 3 delays. And then this part of the song, he adds this. No, Edge, 90% is how he sets it off right here.
Really?
90%.
That's great, man.
And he's a master at it, man. And you'll see even Bono, when he really takes off with doing this, you'll see Bono, you'll see him step back and let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey,
anyway,
so who makes that pick, the current one?
There's 3 different companies that are making it, and I think I just want to keep that.
Okay, I get it.
We
know where it came from originally.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I don't mean to.
No, I get it. I get it, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now we're on stage with this massive pedal board. Let's hear all about it.
And you can see there's no amp line.
Yeah.
There's no bass rig.
Clean.
If you come up here doing which I do, all you hear is hi-hat and snare and kick, and you hear the PA playing, but there's no, you don't hear any of this. It's all coming from his amps down there, right? So anyway, Edge decided No, I'm sorry, John. You asked
No,
me.
no, I love what you're doing, man. Just take us kind of through this signal and how the whole kind of thought process behind
I'll tell you
it.
how this. We really talk about how it began. Joshua Tree Tour. Edge's main echo was a 2290, a TC 2290,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it had on the controller, it had a little controller that had 4 ports, 4 loops. You could, and that's when it began. He started going, well, I like this distortion pedal with the echo, and that's how it began. You see old pictures of us on the stage, him using that. So then he went, I want a lot more effects.
Yeah.
So, ergo switchers,
Sure.
right? And you remember the era of the switchers where a lot of cats were, Clapton, a lot of people were trying these big switchers, right?
Yeah.
Where Edge took it beyond, you know. So he has a sequence, a particular sequence, and this doesn't reflect the sequence of events, right? He's decided what should hit that echo before. The echo is of course is a large measure of his sound, you know, or can be, right?
Sure.
So anyway, he makes presets of particular, you know,
Song
sounds.
specific.
Yeah, song specific. So that would be the intro sound he's created, and the main hook of that song, Acrobat. This is his solos. This is his 3rd solo sound, and he's made these sounds, and he turns them on up here, and we have an outboard wah. There's a wah. That's an expression pedal. His wah down there is a custom audio Bradshaw
In the rack.
wah in the rack, right? This is at the very beginning of the show when he's in the wall. You'll hear that whammy. That's done here.
Okay.
So he's done all this, and then he goes into the wall and he plays, man. Yeah.
That's great. So so the Bradshaw controller, wah controller, whammy controller. Over here, this shimmer and these 3.
Yeah, this is an expression of reverb that he's made.
Great. Okay.
So he can add more to it.
And that's with the Dunlop.
This is a Dunlop expression pedal, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he's dedicated to the amount of regenerations of a delay.
Oh, wow,
right?
cool.
He's got a lot going on, man.
Right.
You know,
He's changing in real time as the song dictates.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's basically it, man. And
Now, you've got a matching system down below, is that right?
that's the spare.
Do you ever
also
do any changes for him, or does he do
He pretty much does it all, but as he'll tell you, you know, when he's away from this, I'll help him out, you know. But he's made every single sound. He's instructed you know, I know by his notes that he's going to play this sound on the, like I said, choruses. He plays different sounds and different echo times, 8th dotted, quarter as the song goes.
Wow.
You know, he doesn't. He doesn't do anything pretty much standard, and that's why you can hear what he's done through the PA. You know,
That's intense. Now, what is this mysterious thing right there?
that thing, he can pretty much tell the others that he's starting the song. You know?
So it's a band communication.
Yeah, it's a band communication.
Okay, so here's the controller, but
Yep.
let's talk about the effects in the rack.
Okay.
Now, I realize they're kind of buried under, and we can't get to them right now, but can you remember what's there? Because it's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. Edge chooses. We carry so many pedals from the old days, Joshua days. Ibanez Tube Screamer, his STD 3000. The pedal I designed, whatever, you know, right? Let's plug that.
Yeah, good for you.
So he uses a 2290 effect as well. So he's got the STD 3000, which is a global output only.
Which they stopped making in the 80s, right?
Yeah, correct, and it was a studio piece, and that was his benchmark, man.
Which I think Daniel Lanois has tours of too.
Yes, and the Memory Man. He's got pictures of him dialing in different lengths of tightness of echoes, going to it in between songs. He's got little marks back in the day before I came along.
Wow.
So anyway, so he's got his delay sounds are the 2290, the SDD. Now the 2290 he loves so much because he can control the output and the input of that. Whereas an SDD, it's global. That's what you get, you know, all night, you know.
Sure.
So he loves that. So then he has quite a few distortions. He uses the Line 6 DM4.
Oh, yeah.
But they made him one that is mediable.
Oh, okay.
So and he doesn't want to go down there, and I don't want to be down there, you know, dialing. So this changes from song to song. That distortion, that's a big part of his sound.
The big gold.
The ingredients are and put into you know the Green Pro, the Line 6 Pro. They made a gold just for him.
Wow.
A gold DM4.
That's cool.
So and the FET is a straight up. You know that boost pedal, the FET, FET. Oh man, it's a little green guy. It doesn't add distortion. It's a pure boost. So that the integrity of his signal is just boosted and not. So that he loves doing that. He'd rather it distort at the amps,
right,
instead of distorting with a distortion pedal. He'll go back to purity. He'll go crazy in the production rehearsals. We'll try all kinds of, but then he'll minimize and go. I'll get that same distortion effect by adding the Harvard. And the Fender.
Right.
Even though you got output, the sound guys can control the amount going out.
Sure, and he's not a particularly dirty player. I mean, his tone usually leans towards a kind of a pristine ringing.
He plays within the chord so much, you know.
Yeah, because you get the definition of the.
But if you listen to this show, Cedarwood Road, Lights of Home, it's distortion.
Really?
There's not echoes, man. He and I think he wants to make that clear, that to not put him into, stereotype him into just being an echo clean, which is he's the master.
He
of that.
Invented that,
right,
sound.
man.
I mean,
He did. So he pretty much has distortions and echoes, and he also has some organ sounds, and that's done with the who makes that organ sound, electro harmonics.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So he discovered that on his own, and he discovered the diamond vibrato piece, that purple. And,
sure.
But everything is subtle. You'll never see the balance wet. It's all subtle, because he doesn't want things to get in the way of his objective sound, So anyway.
So what would you say his main go-to overdrives are?
The Ibanez,
okay.
the Tube Screamer. The DM4, because it's programmable.
Yeah, cool.
And that's pretty much it. Everything else he does, he
what
he did.
The DM4 actually has like 4 different overdrives in it.
Yeah,
though.
man.
So that's
and it has a Tube Screamers. It has color tones. It's a great rat box or something, right?
I've got one I haven't touched in years.
That's a great unit.
I'm gonna break it out when I get home.
Right, man. Check it out. And we used to use that pedal, but he got out of those 4 sounds. All you could program was 4 sounds.
Yeah.
Not this guitarist. He wants 20 distortion sounds. So there go there. But you know what he did? One of the coolest things, the song Elevation, right? Edge came up with, I think him and Danny did it together. Do you remember the old K pedal? The K1? It's an orange distortion swivel pedal. It was like $50. I don't know what it was, man. And Danny brought it in, apparently, and they were, and he could control distortion with the swivel pedal. You think you could do it with an expression pedal? No. So Edge asked his systems tech, Rab McAllister, can you house this in a wah pedal? And Rab did it, man. And so that's what Elevation is.
Really?
Right there, man. It's the guts of that, which Edge has talked about it before, That's what he is.
Hey, one last ingredient. You talked about the capacitors you're putting in the wireless. What wireless system are you using?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the one.
Sure.
Right. It's the one. I'd love to show him every tour the next greatest wireless system, right?
Yeah.
But he has spent so much time on our existing. It's about a 4-year-old system, But with capacitors, you get the next one, and we'd have to start over. This man now doesn't have the time he used to have.
Well, and if you've already dialed in the sound, why? I mean, if it ain't
check
broke,
it out, right? So we use, and they're very reliable. He keeps, he keeps. There's 24 belt packs in this show.
God.
And so what I'm saying, John, you cannot be a boozer or a partier and take care of this guy.
Yeah.
You can't.
Wow.
You gotta be on your game.
I can't imagine how much you spend on batteries in a year.
I don't even try. Even if the batteries show 3 marks still, no, because when he's out there or inside this massive wall, there's no plan B.
Yeah.
It better be on, There's no plan B. And if there's one thing I got to say to viewers is, with the amount of guitars you've learned that I take care of, the amount of responsibility to make sure all the sounds are ready down there, I'm always thinking, what if, even after 40 years I've been doing this, what if this happens? What not plan A, man.
Right.
Works, let's go eat. No. You're always thinking while he's running, if he pops this string, how far away is that other Explorer? Is the transmitter hot? Have I tuned it today? You always are you're staying with your department, and I want to say that because
professionalism, right?
I'm not boasting. I'm just saying, if you really want to get to this level of taking care of a great artist like this guy, that anybody would love to take care of. Any tech would love to take care of this guy. He's humble. He's so humble, man. You know, if something's wrong, this is what I get over here. You don't get. You don't get that. You know, because there's no use introducing drama. You know, but let me tell you, if one of those effects fails in the preset, they're all normaled so that it will not stop the audio. You know, altogether. And you know how many pedal boards you've done where everything is chained up, and that's great. But man, if you lose one of those pedals, to my knowledge, you're going to lose your audio. He doesn't want to take that chance. You know?
Wow.